Hello, and welcome to My 15 Minutes. It's the show I do every day for 15 minutes a day, and where I talk about just about anything I want to talk about. Or, if somebody had an idea that they wanted me to talk about, I certainly would do that too, but it's okay. Um, and I started this January 1st of this year. I intend to complete 366 days in a row of me talking for 15 minutes a day. I'm also trying to get other people of my age bracket. This is the Old Folks Boogie 2 channel, and my name is John, by the way. So, on Old Folks Boogie 2, we have the My 15 Minutes, which this is episode number 55. 55. Geez, I'm almost at 60, and that is pretty amazing. Almost at 60. Anyway, tonight, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't even remember what I talked about last night because maybe I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. it's it's just, again, I'm 70 years old. I don't put together anything for these sessions. I just run it off the top of my head, and whatever happens, happens. It's just not important enough to, and I have too many hours to fill to worry about whether I'm going to, actually block out a topic or not. In fact, if I did block one out, I probably couldn't remember to bring it back up later on the same day. I guess, who knows? I mean, I've been sitting here trying, and again, if you're watching this, probably one of the main reasons I'm doing is just to leave something maybe that my kids will want to watch later when their old man's gone. And in that, I just talk about things that bother me, things that don't bother me, or things I did. Got a lot, and a lot of interesting stories in my past. The There was I don't know if you guys, I don't think I think I did mention somewhere in one of my talks something about a biker. Actually, probably when we were discussing the party that we threw in Hilltown at the farm that we had at the time. And when the band, I mean, it was a big party, and this guy, there was a motorcycle guy, a biker, who showed up. Well, always came wherever Bearcat Jones played. He was almost always there. I used to know his real name, but his nickname was Bear, and he lived over in Danboro, and he had a motorcycle shop. And so at that time, I'm in my early 20s, and my guess is Bear was probably, I don't know, 40. He had been around a while. He had a reputation. But, he loved all of us because we're involved with Howard and Bearcat Jones, and he loved the band. He loved the music. He loved the party. But years later, and I was tending bar down the street, and Bear used to be a relatively frequent patron. It was a dance bar, and at that time, I was tending bar, and Bear's girlfriend at the time, her name was Kitty. She was a dancer, and she would come in, on her scheduled days, and usually Bear would follow her. And so, I knew who he was. I don't think he remembered who I was from previously, but I explained to him how we knew each other, and actually over time, over maybe 4 or 5 months of him coming in and talk, and with Kitty. Kitty was the girl's name. We got to be actually relatively relatively friendly. I mean, I wouldn't call us good friends or anything like that. I wasn't a hardcore one percenter, and Bear was. He was one tough cookie. In fact, There used to be, well, it's called now called the Cactus something. There's a place over on 611 north of going north out of Plumstead toward Ottsville that called the Cactus now, but at the time it was called the Piper Hill Chalet, and it was built actually on hard to believe, but somebody built this chalet, a ski chalet, and it was a bar and a restaurant and a ski chalet, and they had a slope, and they had a chairlift, and you could, but it was really a baby slope, but at the time, I mean, people took to it. By the time I was old enough to go to the Piper Hill Chalet, the ski part of it had shut down, and it was just a drinking bar, or a rock and roll bar because live music was there, and we played there a lot. Bearcat Jones played the Piper Hill Chalet a lot. it was the go-to bar, but people loved us. They came out, they partied, But one time, the Bear happened to get in a fight there. Not over Bearcat Jones or anybody involved with that, but somehow he got into a fight. And I watched him take out 3 guys. Just completely, when it was all said and done, Bear was the only one standing, and these 3 guys were laying on a bank outside. There was a kind of a walk around, and then there was a bank up one side, and these guys were one pile on top of one, and the other one just laying out, and not quite unconscious, but didn't want any more out of Bear. That's a fact. But anyway, that wasn't really what I'm going on about. Anyway, that was just an interesting aside. He was a character. Anyway, so now years later, at the bar, he comes in a lot. So now we're getting friendly, and I'm also getting to know his girlfriend, Kitty, at the time. And Kitty and I actually are becoming really good friends. I didn't have any, you don't want to mess around with Bear's girlfriend anyway, but Kitty was a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And she loved to dance, and she loved to have a good time, and she loved Bear. But I don't even remember what brought it up. At some point, she had said she had never been in New York City, and I said, well, sometime if you want to go, let me know. I'll take you up, because she had said that Bear doesn't go to New York City. He won't go, and she wants to go. She'd never been there. She wanted to go to New York City. So a week or so later, I think, she and Bear came in. She came in to dance, but Bear actually sat down and had his usual whatever it was, and said to me at the time, listen, I hear you're willing to take Kitty up to New York and show her around the city. And I said, yeah, sure. I love you. I love Kitty. I love you. I'd be glad to. Not a problem. Kitty's a great girl. And he actually gave his permission. I wouldn't have done it otherwise, because I didn't want to end up on his bad side. That's for sure. But we had become friendly, and not friends, but friendly enough. And he trusted me enough, and he knew where I worked, so it wasn't like he could lose track of me. So, but this particular time we went up. It was a Saturday night. We left on an afternoon, I think, probably around 1 or 2 o'clock, and drove up to the city. And actually, Bear had given me cash to work, to help defray some expenses up there. Kitty had cash. I had some. So we were okay. We were, so we had dinner. We wandered around. She wanted to see different things, and we went here and there. She wanted to, but the final thing she wanted to see, and this is so bizarre, she wanted to see a strip club in New York City. And I didn't know where any were, so we hailed a cab, and a guy took us to this strip club. And we went in, and Kitty started talking to somebody and telling them she's a dancer, what kind of arrangements they made. I don't know. I didn't get involved in that. But whatever information, we stayed for maybe an hour. We had a couple drinks. And then we left, and after she had gotten whatever she wanted to get out of it, and she was real happy, and we left, but we started to walk down the street, and I swear I had no idea what street we were on or anything about it. But we started to walk down the street and we saw another bar that actually it wasn't very crowded. That was the main thing about it. And there was 50s and 60s music of some sort playing from the inside. You could hear it coming out. I don't remember what song it was, but it was from when I was a kid. So, and I knew that at the time. Now this is probably, I'm 30 something at this point. I'm not even sure what year, what I was doing oh no, maybe, yeah, it could have been much later, like 1985 in that year. See, yeah, because that was when, yeah, probably in the 85 range. So this is like 10 years from the time that I first knew of Bear and he came to our party, but and followed the band and all that. So this is 10 years gone by. Of course, there's no more Bearcat Jones. Anyway, so Kitty and I are in New York. We are really having a great day. It's a great night, and we ended up in this little bar right next to the strip joint. We went in and sat down, and the guy came over and started talking to us and got us a couple of drinks. The bartender did, and then, what are you guys doing here? Kind of thing went on, and we started telling him. And when Kitty said she was a dancer, everybody started hooting and hollering, really, and this and that. And what it turned out to be was this was a gay bar with a drag show. And we had no idea. We didn't even realize there was a stage because they had this really, elaborate facade set up, and then they had to pull it apart to show the stage area. So we just thought it was a bar. And they started, I think at first they thought Kitty was a drag queen and I was, her arm. I don't know. But no, she actually had to convince them that she was her actual woman. And when they they didn't care. They said, "Oh no, you can come up. You got to show us what you can do." And then they proceeded to buy us drinks for the next 3 or 4 hours. I mean, we hung out with these guys. It was one of the best times I've ever had in my life. We had so much fun. Kitty was hysterical. I mean, she was literally hysterical. She kept those guys in stitches. She danced. She sang. She helped them with their makeup. The guys, she was out there doing, and once they knew she was a professional stripper, God, I am telling you, we could have done no wrong. And all I had to do was sit there. Really, I didn't do anything. I didn't participate in any of the. What do I? I'm just showing her where New York is, more or less. But I am telling you, she was a miracle. And for those guys, she was a miracle for them too. I'm telling you, that bar became a hopping joint. Now we were there, we probably got there maybe 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30, 11. And there was maybe 6 or 7 people in there. And again, we didn't know there was a show. It was a show bar. And the show didn't even start till 11 o'clock. But they played, they had they had a great jukebox filled with, 50s, 60s, hits. And it was just, it was a spectacular time. It really was. I can't remember, going on a platonic date, so to speak, and having a better time. I mean, really, I've had, don't get me wrong, I had some good girlfriends in my time where I did spend and have a platonic relationship. But Kitty was a different breed of cat. I mean, she was amazing, really. And the people that knew her and know her, actually, I still have friends that remember Kitty, I'm sure. Bear tragically died in a fire at his shop in Bamborough, and that place burned to the ground. Now it's an office building. And I don't know whatever happened to Kitty. I don't know whatever happened to her. So I would say I was 35 at the time, and I would say Kitty was not far from that. But I'm not really sure. I'm sure she was younger than I was, but 31, 32. So she'd be in her 60s now. But I don't know what happened to her. I wish I did, because she was a hell of a girl. She really was. She was a hell of a girl. Beautiful, and just a personality that it wouldn't quit. She just had this great, a smile, eyes that lit up. Yeah. But anyway, that was a great night. That was just a little reminisce. So there we go. Now we found a topic for tonight, but it's time to go. 15 minutes are up. If you tuned in, thank you. And if you want to subscribe, that would be nice. If not, that's okay. We'll check it again another time. Every day, this was episode 55 on February 24th, 2020. Good night. Take care of the ones you love the ones you can take care of, and be kind to all.